All right. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the live stream. It's going to be a very amazing conversation. Thank you, Radical Latino, for joining. I'm really grateful for you. And I'm happy that you're part of this conversation. So, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Are we live? I don't think we're
Yeah,
live
we
yet.
live. We live. We live.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hold
Oh
on.
okay. Ah.
Are we
it's
live? We live, right?
it's a scheduled. I was gonna
Let
say
me see.
live.
Let me press go live. Yeah, we good.
Oh,
Yeah, he's my,
okay.
yeah.
All right
We
then.
live,
All right
everyone.
then. We live. All right. We're live like a wire.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you guys. Thank everybody for being here. I appreciate all of y'all. So we're gonna get right into the topic. So tonight we're gonna talk about when I mean by American culture, I mean like Anglo-Saxon. I want to be specific, like those Anglo-Saxon white Americans. Like that's what the majority of America is, and then versus like Latin
Yeah.
America versus like the Spaniards, and it's like the whole different colonization process and how the different attitudes they had towards being mixed, how it was like outlawed in America versus it was very much promoted in like Latin America. And so there's like a totally different dynamic there. And so I just want to talk about, I think it's a very interesting conference. Not many people are aware of it, you know? So I just want to bring it to light.
Of
And
course. Of
first thing
course.
I want to talk about is like the history of like the Anglo Americans. And I got some memes and stuff I wanted to show somebody. I was talking to somebody about it. He was like a white Hispanic Puerto Rican. And he was telling me about like the history of like the Spaniards and how they were so pro like race mixing versus like the Anglo Americans. And they actually got like memes about it. Like this is a whole meme. Like this is the British, right? And these are the Spaniards and how
Yeah.
they're like, oh, let's not race mix. And they're trying to tell the Spaniards not to race mix, but they are like so much for promoting it, right?
Yeah.
And like this is like,
Well. This is the type of thing that we gotta kind of understand a little bit.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm here to do.
Um. Yeah. Race mixing with the Spanish didn't happen deliberately. It happened by
Mm-hmm.
accident. Happened by
Oh,
accident. So
mm-hmm.
the thing is, the mixture started. We have to be honest now. The mixture happened because of forceful, procreation, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it was forceful.
Yeah, it was
Mm-hmm.
forceful. Now, throughout the times, when you start seeing all the different colors and the different mixtures and stuff like that, that's when you start to see a new class of people under the eyes of the Spanish. When you start seeing a new class of people, meaning some people are lighter, some people are more brown, some people are staying darker, right? Now they feel like they have to have a classification not only of class but also by color. So they present the whole caste system based on color. And I don't know if you guys have that chart, but hold on, let me see. Class system of color. Um, that the Spanish introduced. Let me see if I could try to bring that up. I usually have it on my little StreamYard thing already ready to go. But let me see if I can try to find the file. But it's pretty much a whole caste system based on color. So again, the lighter you are, the more benefits that you get. So that's the reason why I think now you'll hear, light skin privilege. You'll hear certain things like that because historically that was something that came from the past, um and actually gave certain people with lighter skin or fairer skin a lot of benefits. Did it give to everybody? Of course not. I'm not going to be here like lying about it, but it did grant certain people certain benefits and privileges based on the caste system and your skin complexion.
Right. Actually, I want to share this article. Let me share my screen, y'all. I want to share this article. I'm going to share my screen. And it's about like the history. Let me share my screen. Okay. So this is from Paraguay, right? So this is a history lesson in racial equality, right? So this
Paraguay.
is Paraguay. My bad.
It's all right. It's all good.
So it's basically saying, let me jump back to. So this man in 1814, Jose Francisco, was the supreme dictator until his death in 1840, right? So he passed a law in 1840 decree forbidding marriages between European men. So he basically outlawed same race marriages. So to me, that's extremely mind blowing because, at that time here in America, misogynation and interracial dating was outlawed until 1967, right? So it was
Yeah, of
actually,
course.
they did the complete opposite in Paraguay here. and they made it illegal. They basically, it was forced for them to marry, black Paraguayan women or indigenous women. So it was forced, like you said. It was a law that made you have to marry somebody who is a different race than you, and that's just mind blowing to me.
Yeah. Now
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you the difference between the mindset of the British,
Yes, the
the French,
Anglos. Mm-hmm.
and the Spanish. Now, the mindset of the Spanish was whenever they did this forceful procreation, I'm gonna say,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it was forceful, sometimes it wasn't. It was, consensual.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna try to rewrite history here. Sometimes it was forceful. Some people will say most of the time it was forceful, but it's here nor there. But
Mm-hmm.
this is the difference. The Spanish actually, the baby that came out
Mm-hmm.
was mulatto, was
Mm-hmm.
biracial or whatever. That baby will be considered Spanish under the eyes of the Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
They will be considered
Mm.
Spanish anywhere they travel. They will be considered Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
except if they travel to Spain. So if they went to Spain,
Mm.
it wouldn't be Spanish enough. But anywhere else, for example, in Latin America, in Central America, South America, they would be considered Spanish because their father, came, they came from a Spanish, from a Spanish seed. So that's the difference that the British and the French procreated forcefully with the slaves or their captives, and they denied their offsprings, where the Spanish actually accepted their offsprings. And a lot of people might say, due to history, that this is the reason why certain Latinos walk around claiming that they're white or claiming that they're Spanish. Some of it might be true. Uh, Majority of it is a lot of confusion, but there's a lot of room for you to understand it. But just that's a little brief little history right there.
Wow. Yeah, like in America, it's like, we were one drop ruled, right? It's like they didn't want to have nothing to do with like these mulatto people. They wanted to be as far away from them as possible. They didn't want to claim them. They didn't want them to be part of their society. They didn't want them nothing. They just, we were basically, they got rid of mulatto on the census, and we were like, we just got our identity erased at some point, because it's like they don't really want us to exist at all, right? For 309 years it was outlawed for us to even exist in America. So that's amazing to me. How like the Spaniards, they actually did claim them, but it's weird that like you said, and when you go back to Spain, it's like you're not even part of us, but everywhere else you will. That's kind
Yeah.
of that's
So
kind of
so I
crazy.
wanna I wanna share, if you could. I'm
Oh yeah, of
sharing
course.
part of the caste system. This is a very rudimentary
Hmm.
depiction. If you could put it up on the
Oh, let
screen.
me put it up on the
Yeah, this is a
screen.
very rudimentary
There we
type
go.
of thing,
Hmm.
but pretty much this is
Mm.
basically what
Hmm.
the Spanish enacted. They enacted
Hmm.
and enforced due to certain privileges and benefits that certain people got. Now, again, the Spanish
Hmm.
accepted their offsprings, but let's look
There
at the
was still
double.
a caste system in place where they were
Exactly,
at the bottom. So they did the same thing. They put a racial hierarchy in place, just like in like Anglo-Saxon white America, where they had like white supremacy and they put white people at the top and then everybody else. So they kind of did the same
exactly,
thing. So they had that similarity there, where they did like this whole racial hierarchy thing. Wow.
exactly.
Hmm. Wow, that's really amazing.
So
So, mhm,
negros and mulattoes will be considered at the bottom. Above will be indios, and I'll get into that in a minute. Indios, criollos, and mestizos will be on top of that. So for those who might not know, mestizo really means a mixture between a white person and a more brown or somewhat dark skinned person, and you might just come a little light. That's what it
mhm,
really means.
mhm,
Criollo means somebody that's extremely light, but phenotypically look ethnic. So they will be criollos, right?
mm. Yeah, it's
And
like how they present. Mm.
yeah, and on top of that will be just complete white. You are white. Your phenotype is white. You're everything white. You
Mhm.
know, so
This is interesting.
so
Wow.
the more basically of whitening that you get, the more
Mhm.
benefits that you get. So that's the reason why back then, yeah, it wasn't a big deal, or it wasn't that out of the ordinary to consider yourself white because listen, if you're eating bottle caps all day, yeah, I'll be saying I'm white too. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
can at least get some bread. You feel me?
Right.
And people did it in order to survive. That's pretty much it. They just
Mm-hmm.
did it in order to survive.
Hmm. So I'm seeing like Negroes eat mulattoes. So it's like Negroes and mulattoes. So they didn't one drop rule them. They were considered their own identity
Um,
too. So it wasn't
some
like,
it was
but they were
some
as part of the same
it was
class.
yeah, it was
But they were
somewhat.
had their own
Now
identity at the same
now now
time.
let me explain why mulattoes what so in this little racial caste system there's still
Mm-hmm.
hierarchies within each bracket, right?
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
mulattoes would be on top of negros, black folks,
Mm-hmm.
right? Either
Yeah.
way, they would still be at the bottom, right? Indians will be
Yeah.
on top of them, and so on and so forth. Now, the thing is, the same way how today
Mm-hmm.
certain individuals or certain media corporations or news outlets will depict darker skinned people in a negative light, right?
Yes.
That
Mm-hmm.
same stereotype will carry out when the Spanish made the caste system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a far fetched type of thing to see that darker black people will be at the bottom and mulatto mixed people will be at the bottom also will be above them. Now the reason why the indios or Indian natives will be on top of that is because they didn't see them as savages as the Africans. So they
Mm-hmm.
had all these negative stereotypes and all this negative outlook on Africans, and they did the same thing with the natives
The same
also.
thing.
But
Mm-hmm.
but the natives they weren't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
they kind of skated a little bit, but either way, they still were at the bottom. The natives were still at the bottom, right
Mm-hmm.
alongside black folks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's yep. It's the same thing that happened here though. It's the same caste systems, us mulatto, except for, you know, they one drop ruled us, so we were just basically the same as black people, right? And we were all at the bottom together. But they did say like there's a lot
Yeah,
of history about us like being like a buffer class, and there was a racial hierarchy with people who have lighter skin and stuff like that. So it's basically yeah. So there is a lot of similarities there. There is a lot of differences, but there's also a lot of similarities of like
yeah,
between like the racial caste systems and stuff like that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so
Yo, I'm
yeah.
seeing 21 people here. Yo, let's get some likes up, yo.
Let's get the likes.
Let's get the likes
Yeah,
up.
thank you all for coming out. This is a really interesting. I think it's an overdue conversation because you've been around in these spaces before, like these mixed race spaces, and how we do intersect.
Yeah,
Because we are mixed. Like Jose, he jumps to my platform a lot. He's saying how most Latinos are like triracials, or there's a lot of them who are mixed, and there's a lot to be learned from you guys, like the history. I think this history is so important for us to understand, because it
yeah, yeah,
evolves.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
The
I
the
think so.
the thing the thing we gotta understand something
Hmm.
that the mixed identity is extremely different from Latinos to Americans. This is something
Exactly.
that we have to kind of understand is
Exactly.
because
Mhm.
Latinos, for the most part, we don't see race the same way as Americans do. So,
Exactly. Hmm.
um, white America, took race and took it to a whole nother level, right?
Another level. Yeah, they
And
force segregation and forced and
exactly,
all this stuff.
exactly. So
Hmm.
they forced into another level to the point where there was class, to the point where there was like little studies out here saying that the more darker you are, the dumber you are. Little things like
The
that, right?
scientifical
Ex-
racism and all of that.
exactly.
Yep. They took it a
So
whole nother the eugenics and
yeah,
everything.
exactly. To the
Hmm.
point where they even introduced this one drop rule type of thing, where it either further segregated people and further divided individuals. So
Hmm.
now the thing is that somewhat of the same thing happened in Latin America, but it was somewhat different, right?
Hmm.
Now, by the turn of the century, when we're talking about slaves escaping, most of them went to Mexico, by the way.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
when we're talking about, Harriet Tubman and all these other, wonderful people that actually fought against white supremacy and stuff like that. When we're talking about those type of things, we have to understand that's what the inception of racism in America, how blackness was viewed negatively. Now, turn that into Latin America. In Latin America, at that time, we're talking about a couple of hundred years already passed. In Latin America, everyone's mixed. Everyone is either
Exactly.
triracial
Mm-hmm.
or biracial. There's you
Yep.
it's very it's pretty hard. You'll be very hard pressed to find someone in Latin America with one set of genes. It's usually two or more. You know what I mean? Even with the Afro Latinos might look Africanized, but if you check their DNA, majority of them have native blood in them.
Right.
You know, so
Mm-hmm.
the now with
The
that out the
Taino.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Taino, Arawak, the Mayans, the indigenous people that lived in that, like the Incas and all these other places.
Mm-hmm.
So once we start understanding that type of mentality and that vitriolic way of seeing, okay, my blackness is negative here. When I cross the border, nobody's looking at your blackness. Everybody's like pretty much like, hey, it is what it is. Is there still racism? Of course. I'm not gonna deny that, and that's something that we
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't deny. Is there still racism? Of course. But at the end of the day, no one is really looking at, oh wait, someone's mixed. You're someone something else, one drop. No, nobody cares about that.
Exactly.
Literally,
And
nobody
that's what
cares
we're
about
trying to fight for here because we're still like our identity is so much invalidated. But it's such a difference between like a majority mixed country like the Dominican Republic or like Puerto Rico where it's like majority mixed versus here where it was legalized in 1967. So it's still like kind of still like a tabooish thing
that. Yeah.
here. So
See,
it's still like it's
yeah,
we still
see,
have a long way to go.
like mixture wasn't legalized or illegalized. You know what I mean?
Exactly. There was no laws about it. Yeah, I'm gonna
Exactly.
share the
It was
article about like in Brazil. There was
yeah,
never no laws.
it was pretty much like accepted. Like,
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is. Now, let me let you know something about Brazil.
Mhm.
Brazil, they had the highest population of indigenous people, and they also had
Mhm.
the highest population of African slaves. Now,
Mhm.
this is what happened with Brazil. The thing is, the white population started to die out.
Right.
And what ended up happening was they said, well, damn, all these other natives and black folks, they're mixing in with each other. Their population is growing. Let's get in with this. You know what I mean? So that's when they started to actually promote very heavy that race mixing to the point where you go down to Brazil, you see a white girl with a huge ass donk on her, and you'll be like, hey, yo, what the hell is this?
She
You
got a
know what I'm
little
saying?
seasoning in her pot. Yep.
Exactly. And you like, hey, yo, and she's walking around like she's, like Meg Thee Stallion or something like that. You
Mhm.
feel me? Big lips and big hips. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's the reason why, because the white population was seeing is let me get it. Let me say it for real. The
Mhm.
Spanish and German population, because
Yep.
Germans were coming
The
at them
Germans.
too,
Yep.
but they weren't coming in the influx how it was in World War II. But at that time, they were like, "Hey, yo, we gotta get our population a little bit up there," because at that time, nobody looked at themselves as, "Oh, we're white." No, we're Brazilian. At the end of the day, we're all Brazilian. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Mhm.
that's how they saw it. So that's how they started promoting it. They were like, "Yo, let's keep on mixing," and that's
Mhm.
the reason why now you have a shorty with blue eyes, blonde hair, and she that
Mhm.
dog. You know what I mean? You're like, hey,
Mhm.
yo, where's that? You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's what it is.
Do you think that's something that America should adopt? Like just embrace race mixing and just like so we could become because I that's what Americans so many like Americans want. They just be like, hey, I wish that we could just all identify as Americans instead of being all separated by race. Do you think it's gonna take because of course racism's not gonna away. That's ridiculous to think that if we race mix, racism's gonna go away. Of course. Like it's like you said, Latin American countries, like that's never going away. It is what it is, right? But do you think that we would all just be able to just identify with our nationality if we all like shared a bloodline, because we're all do you think that that's something that you would
To,
like
to be
promote
honest,
in America? What do you think?
to be honest with you, it's happening now.
It's already happening, right? We're just
It's
yeah,
happening. It's happening now. Let's be completely honest.
it's
You
happening.
probably hear some of these like toxic pro black folks talking about only date black, but yet they got a Puerto
Mm-hmm.
Rican wife. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, very much so.
So
Talk black, sleep white. That's the thing. Mm-hmm.
exactly. So it's pretty much happening already now.
Mm-hmm.
It's underground. Let's be honest, it
Yeah,
is
it's not.
underground.
Yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
majority of people that you probably see today who are not extremely melanated, but are melanated. Oh yeah, that's my washing machine. It start dancing right now.
Oh,
Um, who are melanated or lightly melanated, they're majority mixed. So it is what it
mm-hmm.
is. It's still
It
gonna
is
happen.
what it
That's
is.
something that should be happening.
It should
But
be happening.
but
Mm-hmm.
in the way, like you said, race is not gonna go away. They're gonna
It's
start
not gonna go
finding
away.
other
Mm-hmm.
ways
To
in order
divide
to
each other,
yeah,
colorism and all of it.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Yep, yep, yep. People always trying to find something to fight about and something to divide about. So if it's
Yeah,
not
and
race, it's color or it's
exactly.
gender or whatever,
And the
So
way
it is what
the
it
way
is.
I see it is America is going to a mixed or triracial type
It
of thing.
is.
Didn't they say
Mhm.
around 2050 majority
Yep.
of America is going to be like
Already,
brown and stuff?
already. Yeah, I did
So
a live stream about it. The census says in 2010 there was 9 million people who identified as two or more races. In 10 years, it's been a 276% increase. So there's 35 million of us now. 10 years in 2020. So it's a huge, huge, huge population. Like that's the most growing population in America is multiracial mixed people. So
yeah,
this is
so
why. Mhm.
now this is the thing that is gonna. This is what I fear might happen to the mixed population the more it grows.
Mhm.
As you know, here in America, whiteness needs to be on top, right? Just
Mhm.
like in the a caste system that the Spanish put out there, there's
Mhm.
a somewhat of a caste system here too, right? So
Right.
whiteness needs to be on top. Now, what I think might happen is the same thing that is happening to us Latinos here, right?
Mhm.
Where when it comes to the race box, Latinos, for
Mhm.
the most part, majority of us do not check that race box. We leave
Mhm.
it blank.
Mhm.
For a lot of people who don't know about Latino culture, Latino history, the majority of us leave it blank, and
Mhm.
it's become common practice in police forces, in hospitals, in educational school systems
Mhm.
to see a Latino and actually mark white.
Mm.
I've heard countless and countless stories of even dark skinned Latinos. They see a Lopez, Gonzalez, Ortiz, Maldonado as the last name. They're marking white. You
Mhm.
feel me? So
Right.
it's very common practice for now. What I feel is due to the fact that the white population is going down and they know this, I
Mhm.
feel that they might do the same sneaky tactics to the mixed race mulatto people.
Right.
That
That's
they might
something we need to avoid. Like we want to learn and make sure that doesn't sneak in there and like try to,
the thing is, it's happening to us Latinos, right? And some of us know about it, some of us don't, right? But it's always very curious to find out when we do find out, like, why the hell did you mark me down as white? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So the thing that I always say is don't avoid that race box.
Yeah,
Put
that's why we're
exactly what
fighting. I
exactly
agree.
put exactly
Mhm.
what it is. If
Mhm.
it says check two or check one or more, check
Mhm.
check white, black, native. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's what I
Boom,
usually
boom,
do.
boom.
I always check that other or like two or more races, but I need to.
Yeah,
We want to be able to be specific about things because on the census, that's all that the data that's collected is two or more races. We don't know what two races they are. We don't know if they're mulattoes, mestizos, if they're Eurasians. We don't know what those two or more races consist of. So that's why we're trying to fight for like you're gonna show me how mulatto is actually an identifier in the Dominican Republic. It's something that's like actual like legalized and it's actually
yeah. Let me
part
let
of.
me let me see if I can try to show
Hmm.
you that
So
now.
that's something that we want in here in America because they have it in the UK where you could be specific about like what are your mixtures, so we could make sure like we could collect that data and actually be counting in, and it's not just counted towards something that we're not, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's something
yeah.
that we need to
Of
integrate
course.
into our country.
Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, this is a sample. If you could put that up on the screen, this is a sample of a Dominican driver's license, not an ID. It's a driver's license, and
Okay, let me put that up real quick.
part of the identifier. So it says, the street name, blah, 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 blah. Part of the identifier is mulatto. So that's
Mm-hmm.
very, very interesting. I don't know. Let me see if I could try to. No, I think I have to like exit out. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get the other one.
Okay.
Um,
But
There's
that's my
another one
next
that I
topic I'm going to
got.
talk about, the word mulatto, because I'm pro reclaiming that word, because like
Yeah,
the history of that in America. So I think in the 1800s, like it was a white man who wanted to study mulatto people to see if they have the same lifespan as black people,
yeah,
right? So that's why we got that mulatto, because they adopted it from the Spaniards, of course, right?
yeah, yeah. Of course.
And then in the, I don't know specifically why it was removed from the census, but it was replaced by the word Negro. And it was like here in
Yeah,
America, it's a slur. Like it's somebody people most people think of it's like an offensive thing. But in countries that are majority mixed, it's like their identity. It's something that's just like there's no
it's
negative connotation with it. So
Negro is just the
just say black.
American. Yeah, it's just American is the American way to just say the Spanish word for black. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
So black is
Mm-hmm.
negro, and
Mm-hmm.
just Americans flipped it into something negative as negro. You know
That's
what I
what
mean?
happened
So
with mulatto. It's like Americans flipped it into something negative, and then
yeah,
now
exactly.
it's like it's something that is like we can't even call ourselves mulatto without people thinking we're just like that girl, that rapper mulatto, and she was shamed into
Yeah.
changing her name because it's like something that, but that's something I do want to reclaim. Like that's something I
Nah,
push for. So.
exactly. So this is
Mhm.
another. It says it even right here, licencia de conducir. This is another like license. Right there at
Mhm.
the bottom, it says Indio. Now I want people to understand this. Um, Pretty much the race part or the mixture part. A lot of
Mhm.
people in Dominican Republic pretty much leave it blank because either
Mhm.
because they don't know or they could care less about it,
Mhm.
and it's up to the individual to pretty much look at somebody and just go like, okay, you're Indio, you because let's be honest, the
Mhm.
other girl that I just showed, she didn't look mulatto, right?
Mhm.
This person does not look Indio, right?
Mhm.
He looks negro, right? But
Mhm.
it would just be up to the person. So I just want to make that very clear
So
before
people
people
identify like, so it's kind of like how there's a lot of mulatto black and white people, but they more so choose to identify as black, so people could kind of choose to identify as what they want to, kind of thing. Is that
yeah,
what?
it's just, yeah,
Hmm,
because
interesting.
if you're dark, you're just be like, yeah, I'm a moreno. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what it is.
Mm.
There's another one right here that let me show you. There's another one right here that he doesn't look mulatto, but he is classified mulatto. So let me show you right here. If you could put that up on the screen.
Okay, let me put that up right quick.
So it says right there mulatto, right? As you can see,
Mm-hmm.
his skin color. It's a little real dark. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
again, that's just up to the individual who's
Up
doing
to
the
the individual.
licensing
And
and
the
stuff
thing
like that.
about like being mulatto too, it's like there's not really a phenotype with it, because like there's a lot of dark skinned mulatto people, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
light
true.
skinned mulatto people, so it's like it can manifest itself in any ways, but with so you never know really when it comes to mixed people, they come out any kind of way, right?
Yeah, that's true. No, that is
Mhm.
true.
Mhm.
That is true because, like, my dad is dark and my
Mhm.
mom is light. And look how
Mhm.
I came out. So
It's like they can come out any kind of way. So, yeah, that's why I really don't consider myself like a light skinned space, because I do want to be like inclusive towards people who are darker skinned and they identify as mixed. I don't want to like invalidate their identity just because people, because that's the thing about America, right? America goes off of looks. Like, oh, if you're perceived like that's what they told biracial mixed people for so long. Oh, you're gonna be perceived as black by white people, so that's what you are, right? But they don't take into account that like black people do not perceive us as black. A lot of black people don't really claim us or see us as black at the same time. So it's like, why people give too much power to like the white gaze, I guess. It's like, oh, you have to go by what white people view you as, and it's like I don't agree with that. Like, I'm gonna go by what I truly am at the end of the day. And then a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of a lot of
yeah.
black people in the black community reinforce like the one drop rule, and they're like, oh yeah, that's how, if you're in America, you're mixed, you're black. So it's like, I
Well,
don't know, we just want to have a space.
let's talk about that for a little bit. Let's talk
Yeah.
about that for a little bit because
Mhm.
when I was growing up, right? Again, I grew up around a lot of gangs. Latin Kings were
Mhm.
pretty much in my hood. I knew some of the Bloods all through Burnside and all that, and there was a lot of Black Israelites, Morris Science Temple people, right? And this was the time where I'm black and I'm proud and all that other stuff,
Mhm.
knowing your history, and all this
Right.
other stuff, right? To
Mhm.
the point where they were like, brother, you black. You know what I'm saying? You part of the black
Mhm.
Asiatic man
Yeah,
and all
you
this
was
other
like you
stuff.
were kind of one drop rule, kind of a little bit, like
So
you're one
I
of
was
us,
like,
like.
exactly. So I
Mhm.
was like, I am? Okay, I guess I am then. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But deep down, I was like that. I was a little confused about that. I'm like, am I black or not? And as long when they saw my dad, then they'd be like, oh yeah, you black, bro. Yeah, you black, right? So
Mhm.
like my validation came from him. You know what I'm saying? Came from
Mhm.
him existing, right? So now when I would talk to other people, right, outside of my block or whatever the case is, they will be like, well, it really depends. Did your parents
Mhm.
come from? I'm like, wait a minute. So who is the gatekeeper that will let everybody else know how black I am? You know what I'm saying? I
It's
don't
always
get
a
it.
goalpost. I can relate to that. We because most biracial people who are mulattoes, black and white, we identified as black, right? Most of us growing up, even I was very pro black at one time too. I was very proud of my black. I am still, of course I am. I'm half black. I'm gonna always be proud to be half black. And I relate to that because it was like, yeah, you're black, you're black, you're black. But then it's like the goalposts move all of a sudden, and it's like, oh no, no, you're not. So it's confusing to always like, say like have your identity. People identify you as one day, and then another person could come along and be like, no, you're not. It's kind of like no. That's why I'm so pro. Let's just claim who we are. We're just mixed people at the end of the day. Nobody could tell us that we're not mixed at the end of the day. A lot of people do that to
Yeah,
like darker skinned mixed people, and they be like, no, you're not mixed. And I know a lot of people tell me about that, and that's hurtful for a lot of darker skinned mixed people when they go through like their identity being invalidated because people think of mixed, they think of like light skinned people, but it's a wide range, like I said. But it's just I think we should go by just who you are, just claim exactly who you are and not worry about like what other people trying to tell you who you are. So that's
yeah.
that's what I
But
think, right?
but you from the 12 tribes though.
Oh, the 12 tribes, the Hebrew Israelites. Yeah. Yeah. I was confused about that too, because white people are not part of them 12 tribes compared to them. So I'm like half part of the tribes, I guess. So it was kind of like, oh,
E- Exactly.
I'm
So
like
that's
half
why
Hebrew or whatever, according to them. So
exactly. That's why I'm like,
yeah. Oh, I wanted to touch on one more thing. That okay? So I was talking to a white Hispanic Puerto Rican or whatever in another Discord or whatever. He was sharing a lot of good information with me. So yeah, but we were talking about like going back to like the whole colonization process of America versus like the Spaniards, but it goes back further. So he was saying that I don't know if you agree with this or not. He was saying that the Northern European, like the Anglo American, so since their geographical location, it's hard for them to mix because they're so up far north. So it's like that's why they have the attitudes they have towards race basically because it didn't really happen too much because of their geographical location versus the Spaniards and like they were like closer to like Africa and different in like the Middle East. They were like close, so of course more race mixing happened. So that's why they came to Latin America and we're already accepting of like race mixing because it was already been happening in their country. Like when it comes to like the Moors and stuff and how they say like they came and conquered for 500 years and they were already race mixing. So it was already like a lot of race mixing in Spain before even they came and colonized like Latin America and stuff. So it's like that's why they had like a different attitude just because of the
eh,
geographical location. So what you think about that? That's something that was shared with
I
me.
I don't agree because if that was the case, it would have been the caste system based on color in Spain, right?
Mm,
There
yeah.
isn't. The only recorded caste system based on color happened in Latin America
Mhm.
ever. That's
Mhm.
we got to understand that the island called Dominican Republic and Haiti, right? That was called by the Spanish Hispaniola was the first island that they started to enslave people in. Christopher
Mhm.
Columbus, and we all
Yep.
know that in 1492, Christopher
Ocean
Columbus,
blue bullshit.
exactly right.
Mhm.
He discovered, he discovered Hispaniola. Well, he discovered Haiti,
Mhm.
then renamed Hispaniola. We were the first people who were enslaved. Let's keep it 1,000 right now. We were the first people that were
Mhm.
enslaved, and
In the
then
Americas, like in the
in,
Americas.
in the Americas, yeah,
Mhm.
our little island was the first people that he enslaved, and then when he expanded his empire of white supremacy, That's when everybody started discovering all type of lands and all type of dark skinned folks and all that other stuff, right? All type of native individuals. Now, there's the thing: the caste system did not exist back in Spain
Mm.
until when Christopher Columbus came and then he found everybody murdered and all that other stuff, Indians with their arms chopped off because they didn't get enough gold.
Mm.
This is something that we got to understand. So if that sounds like pseudoscience to me, pseudo history, because if Spaniards were so loving in race mixing, they wouldn't do it forcefully. I'm just saying.
It's a good point. It's good to hear different perspectives on things. It's a good point.
Yeah, yeah, because
Definitely.
because like listen, I understand that certain individuals don't want to put all that negativity on the Spanish. I get it. I totally
Mhm.
understand it, but in the same time, we have to be real about it.
Mhm.
We have to be 100% real about it.
We got to be
Uh,
honest about
yeah,
things, right? Mhm.
or like let's even be more honest. The
Mhm.
majority of Black Americans now are not 100% Black. They
No,
have
they're mixed, like twenty
they have
percent on average. Yep.
no. I think it was like 90% of Black Americans got white blood in them. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
On average, they have 20% of
Yeah,
European DNA.
exactly.
Yeah.
20, like
Mhm.
20%, 20 or 22%.
Yep.
So technically, majority of Black Americans are mixed, right? Now the thing
Exactly.
is that white blood there voluntarily or is it there forcefully? This is something
It's
that, of
crazy. It's like I here's how I see it. Here's what I'm getting. So the Anglo, like British colonizers, they had such an unhealthy relationship with race mixing as well because they were so against it. But at the same time, they were raping black women and creating mulattoes, right? So it's like they were so against
course.
it. They even like outlawed it and they enslaved like the mulattoes. That if a white woman gave birth to a mulatto, she was enslaved and so was the child, right? So it's like they were so forcefully against it. They just hated it. They wanted nothing to do with it. And then at the same time, the Spaniards, they were so forcefully, it's like they were both forcing it. Like they were forcing to do it. Like they outlawed
Yeah.
same race marriages to the point. It's like just these. So it's like, how do we, it's like these two extremes, right?
Yeah.
That we
The
have.
only thing that I will say about the Spanish, like I said it before, they
Mm-hmm.
accepted their offsprings.
Mm-hmm.
They accepted them. They were like, okay, you're part of our family. That's the only thing that I
Mm-hmm.
will say. Um,
Right.
Unfortunately, some of this acceptance became the brutality of other people. For example,
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of black conquistadors at that time.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of biracial and mulatto,
Mm-hmm.
slave owners at that time. So
Right.
we have to understand that
Nobody's innocent, really.
exactly nobody's innocent, but also
Nobody's innocent.
in the same time, we have to understand that the mentality that was given to these individuals
Mm-hmm.
was a mentality of superiority given
Yep.
given by the white man or whatever the case is, or however you want to put it, was a superiority given to them. And because of that superiority, they felt like they could do whatever that they wanted. You understand? So
Yeah.
you will have incidences of black conquistadors, forcefully, doing whatever with women. Also, you will have incidences of Indian soldiers going for, fighting for Spain. Now, when you hear that, you were like, what? Indians will fight for Spain?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it
Wow.
was like a 50-50 type of thing. Now, the reason why they would do that is because Spain will promise the status of whiteness to those soldiers and their
Mm.
wives. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if they fight for the crown, you're going to get benefits from the crown. You're going to get gold. You're going to get, you're not going to get beat up this time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they pretty much had to fight for the crown under duress. If you want to keep
Mm.
it 1,000.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm definitely gonna do way more research, but I'm gonna end on this, and then I'm gonna open up the panel to anybody who wants to like speak on this topic. But since that's the history of it, that's the history of these two different, nations in the Americas and how like their colonization process was different, how they had different attitudes towards race mixing. So that's the history of it. So now going forward, my thing is, me and you, like, I like how you're for black and brown unity, and I want to be an allyship like mulattoes, like American mulatto, and then like the Latin community, how we could be form an allyship is there as well, because I think we should fight against like this racial hierarchy system. I don't believe in white supremacy. I don't believe in black supremacy. I don't believe in biracial supremacy. I don't believe none of that. I think that that should all be a thing of the past one day. So moving forward, how can we like fight against this type of racial hierarchy system? And how do you think we can have a healthy attitude towards race mixing? Like, it's something that's going to happen. It happened, but it's something that shouldn't be forced, and it's something that shouldn't be outlawed at the same time, where it was like, so like people are so heavily against it, and to the point like it was like a religious thing that people would bring up Bible quotes saying it's an abomination and all this crazy stuff. I think it should just be neutral. Like, if it happens, it happens. Like, so I just want us, like, how do we have a healthy attitude towards like race mixing, where it's not just like
Yeah.
such a controversial thing? And how can we fight against like these racial
Yeah.
hierarchies that,
One
it's
thing
historically thing?
one thing I will say is, if you automatically have a bias against certain light skinned individuals, certain mixed individuals, if you already have a bias, you're automatically starting wrong. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree. Mm-hmm.
You're
I
automatically
agree.
starting wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There's no conversations to be had. Now, with that being said, oh damn it, my dryer. Hold on, give me a minute. No, no,
Okay.
no, no. I think it's okay. Whatever. So there's no conversation to be said if you already have that negative ideology. Now to promote it, I'm gonna start from the beginning. Don't be telling your kids, if don't bring no dark person home.
I agree.
Don't be
It starts
telling.
with parenting. I totally agree with that. It
Exactly,
starts with your
exactly.
how you raise your children.
Don't be telling your kids that's some light skin shit.
I
Don't
agree.
be
Thank you.
don't be telling your kids you got bad hair, you got this and that, and when you want to insult somebody, you black, do not start with that, because again, kids are sponges, right? And they're gonna start emulating the things that someone does. You know what I'm saying? So let's start at a very loving, neutral playing field. You feel me? Now, secondly, I will say, if you are going to get with someone lighter or whatever, don't do it off of some fetish stuff. Don't do it because, yo, I heard y'all do this, or I heard and our kids will come out. No. Do it because you actually like the individual. You feel me? Don't do it because y'all kids are gonna have good hair, or I like your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Don't, if you're already coming in with bad intentions or some fetish intentions, the door's right there. You feel me? I think those are the ways how we could probably improve a little bit more. Um, and one more, I'll probably say, um, if you're gonna get with somebody that is mixed or lighter or biracial from another community, for a Latino community, for example, because we're very closely knit, don't start going in there trying to speak Spanish or trying to go in there thinking that the culture. Oh yeah, I know that y'all racist and all. No, no, no. Learn about something. Learn what the culture is. See what you're learning from it, and don't bring stereotypes. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I agree with you, Radical.
Yeah,
Oh, Don, shout out to you, Don. Shout out to Jose, and shout out
yeah.
to the.
Good
Appreciate
evening,
it. Thank
Real
you
everybody.
good
guys for being
evening.
here. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Georgia, for popping on the stream. And yeah, what do you guys have to say about the topic? But I just want to say, Radical Latino, I'm a million percent on board with you. I do. It does start with parenting. It does start within the home, and we got to make sure that people bashing light skinned people is just as bad as people bashing dark skinned people. And like just that, I think it's all bad. I think it should all be a thing of the past one day, and we don't need to be passing down that mindset to our children whatsoever. So yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my daughter. But yeah, you guys have anything to say about this topic? Sorry.
Yeah, well. First of all, I think it's a very interesting topic, but when it comes to like dating, I mean, you should look for someone that you can share common interest in. Okay, some common values. Don't be going after someone just because you have a fetish for a particular, whether it be um, melanated, non-melanated, mixed or whatever. I mean, that comes out as weird. I mean, if you're gonna go date someone, let it be for that you have common interests, you have common things, in common, and then You try to learn about the other person's culture. Don't pretend like you know everything.
I totally agree with you. Totally, 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 totally. We can't go by
Amen.
stereotypes, you know? You know, so many people are like indoctrinated with these stereotypes, or they have one negative experience with somebody of a different group and they think everybody's like that, you know. I did a stream about that earlier, like tribalism, you know, and how it affects mixed people, but I don't think that, you know, like it's a thing. People are tribalistic, but at the same time, it's like we could still have a different perspective on things and be able to think logically and rationally about things and not just go by like primitive instincts on everything. So yeah, I'm inviting anybody on this channel who want to come up. People saying, oh, he don't know nothing about what he's talking about or whatever. Yeah, come up here. I would love to
That
hear everybody's perspective on things.
that's Maria. She's my ex baby mama. You know what I mean?
Ex baby mama, not no baby mama drama in here. Oh Lord,
I didn't pay the child support this month. You know what I mean? So she's a little mad. It's all right. It's all
no.
right. It's okay. It's okay. I got you next month. I
But
got you next
yeah,
month.
please come up on the channel. Like if you guys have a different perspective, like everybody doesn't think the same. Like I encourage different viewpoints and different, you know, perspectives and things. And so yeah, anybody, yeah. So anybody else got anything to add about this topic, about, you know, like the differences? I would love to hear from you, Dawn. I've been waiting to hear from you about your I want to know more how we could build allyships, you know, because so many people, I feel like so many people are like, especially mixed people, because we have such like a budding, like our identity is so fragile basically, because it's like it's been taken away from us so many times, and so many people are afraid of like erasure, and they're afraid of allyships because they're scared we're just gonna all just like, I don't know, people want to keep their identity but also have like an allyship, you know. So it's like, I don't know. So how do you think we have like a healthy allyship that's mutual? Because, you know, in the Black community, it was like a one-sided allyship, in my opinion. It was like, you know, us like mulatto people, we would do everything. We would, a lot of us, there's a long history of us trying to help the Black community, but it's like they don't respect us, you know. A lot of them, there's like, they don't really respect our identity or respect who we are, or respect our efforts or anything. So, but how can we build like a positive like allyship between like the Latino community and like the American mixed mulatto community? What y'all think about that?
Well, I think that we have to learn about each other's culture, and we have
I
to
agree.
show we have to come from a place of respect, and then everything will flow right. If you come from a place of ignorance and you actually talk ignorant, that's where conflicts arises when you don't respect the person
Respect is number one. Yep, I agree with
or
you.
you don't acknowledge or study that person's differences.
That's a fact. I'm gonna add also coming in with a common goal and a common perspective, meaning we're uniting for X, Y, and Z or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Because at the
Exactly.
end of the day, with more numbers, that means more solutions will get resolved with more numbers. You feel me? Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said this. No one, no person, no country has ever won any type of war isolated. They
Always
always
been
had
allyships.
exactly.
Exactly.
They always had allies. Russia has allies. Believe it or not, that's why Japan is so quiet. You know what I'm saying? China is so quiet right now.
Mhm.
Russia got allies. Everyone needs allies. Nobody will ever win a one-sided war. So this is the type of thing a lot of people don't understand. You know?
Totally agree with you. Even NATO, that's a one big allyship between nations. Like, yeah, I agree.
Hey, Dawn. So you know that I'm a regular on your live streams, and you already know exactly how I feel about forming alliances, and you already know precisely what I consider you.
Oh yeah, of course. I always consider you an ally, Giorgio. And
Yeah,
even though I got my stream right now, I'm just waiting for a whole bunch of people to show up, and then I'll go back on my own. But until then, I'm just gonna make my presence known and everything.
yeah. That's why you saw me on your Instagram, like live stream with your friends, talking about West Coast music.
Oh yeah,
I I understood you guys clearly too, because
yep,
I think that if I'm gonna also form an alliance with like your folks down there in the island country, a very beautiful one, I may as well learn the language as well.
exactly.
Take time to learn and respect. Yeah. What do you guys think about this comment? This is a very common thing. Like we got to take care of our own first and fix our own home before looking to allies. So what y'all think about that?
Okay, well,
You know what's now you want to know something? I'm just gonna actually say something. to what's his name on cultural politics or whatever the heck his name is. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about all that pronoun junk or anything like that. You better call me Mister.
Your
That's it.
pronouns. Okay.
So I don't do that pronoun crap. I'm being honest.
Oh, we're gonna add Maria to the stream. Welcome, Maria. Thank you for coming in on the panel.
Welcome.
I
How
don't
you
Hi,
think
doing?
hi,
Hey
hi,
Maria.
hi.
I
Thank you
don't
for
think
coming
that's
in here.
I don't think that's Maria. Is it?
Yes, it is me.
Hi,
Yes,
thank
it
you for
is me.
You
coming.
you sound drunk. Are you all right?
No, I
No.
just got up from a nap.
Oh,
Somebody
okay.
sent me this link, and the title seems weird because if you're
It's
from Latin America, well, first of all, to the host, much respect to you. Thank you for having me on.
of course, thank you.
And I'm gonna be brief. As someone from Latin America, and if you're mixed from the United States, we don't see you as mixed. We just see you as a gringo. There is
Mm-hmm.
no unity. Latin Americans don't need mixed Americans. Radical
Mm-hmm.
knows nothing about his family's home country. When he talks, he's not really honest, and all of this land unity is based on a fetish. We don't need
So
anybody. We
all
really
right. So
don't.
what's the fetish that's
Maria's my
All
based
I
on?
hear is
this
fetishes.
person is my baby mom's. I told her, listen,
No, I'm
tell
not.
tell
No,
tell
you're
tell
disgusting.
listen,
Radical, you're
tell Jorge
disgusting.
to stop
You're
jumping in the bed.
disgusting.
Stop
You're
jumping in the bed.
gross.
Listen, I
You're
understand
Hold
you
on,
just
gross.
y'all.
You
Hold
know
on.
I
nothing about
Hold
your
on,
understand
family's
guys.
I
Wait.
understand you
culture.
just got out
You're
of your
from New
second
York.
job. I
You're
totally get
ghetto
it.
trash. You're
Of course,
ghetto
of
trash.
Y'all,
course.
hold
You
You
on.
know,
Let
do
me
All
nothing
right,
to
it's
move
so
time
on
to
Latin
mute
America. Don't
somebody.
speak
Time
for
to
yeah.
my
mute.
region. You're not from here. You're from the United States. You're from New York. If you were to go to
You
Latin America,
too.
any of you go to Latin America, you guys are a tourist. That's what you're seen as.
No
I
All of
shit.
you,
agree. I agree with
respectfully,
that.
No
I
there
would
shit.
is no mixed American land unit. There's none
no
of
in
that.
America, there's a large Hispanic population. So I'm just like in
This
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. There is no
There's a
unity.
large
All I hear is a
Let me say
fetish.
something. Let me say something real
but
quick.
All I hear
look,
is
This is
look
someone.
this
from
is
my
a
go
let me
All
ahead.
I
say
hear.
let me say something real quick. This is an individual that wants to hear what she wants to hear. Nobody's talking about Latin America going over there and uniting. No one's talking about that. We're talking about America. So don't come over here
Uh, you're
with your
not
little
from
thing or
Latin
whatever.
America. Exactly.
Dude,
I've talked to Hispanics who live in the United
no,
States.
you
They
don't.
don't feel the
No,
need.
you don't,
They don't
bro.
need
No,
any.
you
Yes,
don't.
I do.
You talk to people
Yes, I do.
online.
Yes,
Your
I do.
your people
Yes,
are
I do.
4chan. Your people are 4chan. So stop.
No, sir.
Oh, okay,
No,
Maria.
sir.
Maria, what part of Latin America? What country are you from?
I'm from
She
Costa Rica.
Costa
Please.
Rica. Okay,
she
And
lives
I
cool.
in
have family over there,
listen,
and
she
none of them feel like
Seriamente
you
aquí.
need unity with
listen.
No, I think
anybody.
that it's
Check this
always.
out.
I think it comes down to individuals. Like
Check
some
this out.
people, like.
No, wait. Check this out. This
Mhm.
individual lives in Burnside. She lives in the Bronx. She's not from
Not really.
she's not
Not
living in
really.
Costa Rica.
Bronx.
Not really.
At one point she was from Bolivia. Now she's from Costa Rica. Which
Not
one is
really.
it?
No, Radical
Come
talks
on,
out his
Maria.
ass.
Which one is
You're
it,
Damn.
ghetto
mommy? Come on,
trash
Maria.
talking out your ass.
All
You do
right.
not represent
All
Latin
right,
America.
I
All right, but
don't
if
At
he's
realize
all.
ghetto
what the
trash, why he's
stream has
married then?
devolved into.
You know what I'm
She's my
saying?
We're gonna have
she's
to
my
start
baby
muting
mom's.
some
That's why
people.
she's
No, I'm
mad. She's
not. You're
mad.
disgusting. You're
It's all right.
gross.
I'm
You
gonna
should have
send you the
never
money.
cammed up.
I should
That's
have
why you lost
gave you.
viewership because you cammed
That's
up.
why I
All
got
right, y'all.
4,000
All
Hold
the
on.
chicks
subscribers. I got
stopped
more than
subscribing
Kim.
because they
I
looked
got
what
more
you
than
look
Kim.
like.
I got more than
So
Kim.
listen,
Dude,
this
you're
whole point
ugly.
of the stream was trying to be respectful because I respect Hispanic Americans and Latin American culture, and I respect them. I wanted to showcase and actually learn about their history and learn about the differences we have. So that was the whole point. Is just opening up the
On behalf
conversations
of my
about
baby,
out of a place of respect.
on
That's all.
behalf of
Like
my baby mom, I'd like to
I,
so.
I
That's
can
apologize.
all it
I
is.
can hear in your
I
voice you're
want to
very
apologize.
respectful, and I respect that as
You know
well.
what
I
I'm saying?
respect you
I
as
want
a
to
host.
apologize.
Thank
Radical,
you.
I don't respect nothing about
I want to
Radical. He
apologize
talks out
from
his
her
ass.
little,
He
drunk
knows
behavior.
nothing
You know
about
what I'm
Latin
saying?
America, the culture, this and that. Listen, if you're from the United States
Mm,
and you grew up in the United States, I'm sorry, but you will never understand what is Latin American culture. You'll
mm,
always be American. You know what I'm saying? I say that
yeah.
respectfully. Like you
Mhm.
guys know football and the NBA and your hip hop
Mhm.
artists and your little Taylor Swift, and that's fine. And I respect that. But there's no way you will ever understand what it's like to be from my country or my community if you're not born into it,
I
and
agree
no
with
one,
that.
you know
You
what I
guys have a
mean?
totally different I agree with that.
I
We will
agree
never
with
be able to
that.
relate to your experiences. I totally agree with that. But my thing is like, how do you
Yeah.
think we should go about learning about the different cultures and different histories and different countries that we could just have that education and
Okay.
knowledge.
All right. Basically, get a map, go to a
Mhm.
library, read, maybe don't consume too much TV. But even with that, you'll always see it. It's like if I study about China, I can look it up on a map. I can read a book about it, but I'll never know what it's like to be Chinese. You know what I mean?
No, but
Exactly.
that's why I like these type of platforms because you could connect with like the internet. You could connect with anybody all over the world. So that's
I
why you
agree
don't
with that.
you don't think that Radical Latino was a good person to talk on speak on Latin
I
American
think
culture.
he's from New York. I think he will adhere to whatever is happening in New York and their thought process. He's gonna copy that, but he knows nothing about Latin America. I can hear it in the way he talks. He's lost his culture, and to me, it's really embarrassing that you have people like him walking around, and then people who are non-Hispanic look at him like, oh, this is what a Latino is. I'm like, that's embarrassing to me,
Maria, can I
but
ask
it
you
is what
something?
it is.
So you
No,
just
Maria, can
consider
I
radical.
ask
him
you something?
American? He's just American, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're American too because you were born here.
No,
So,
I'm not.
so let
I
me
was
ask you
not born
something.
in the United States.
How come
I was not.
how come
Wait,
I
hold
will,
on, hold on,
how
hold on,
come
hold on,
I'm such
hold
a
on, hold
Mexican?
on,
How come I'm a dual
hold on.
citizen?
I'm not from the United
Yes, you
States.
are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you were born here. What are you talking about?
Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up,
exactly.
radical.
You
I
were
was not
born
born in the
here.
United
Just
States.
like
I'm
Kim was
trying to be
born here,
respectful.
right? Just like Kim was born here, and y'all like to dictate who's Latino and who's not. It's okay. It's fine. You were born here. You're in Burnside, right? You live in the Bronx. Is that what it is?
No, you
Is
were
that
born
what
in
it
the United
is?
States. And you know
Yeah,
what?
me
And
and
you know what?
you were born in the United States.
To the
Yes.
host, there's nothing wrong with being from the United States. There's nothing wrong
Right.
with born in the United States
That's
if
BS.
that's your
That's not what you
culture.
say. That's not what
No,
you
no,
say.
no.
Tell them
Don't
what you
interrupt me.
think.
Who
Tell
the
them what you
fuck
think.
are you?
Tell
Who
them
the
what you
fuck are you?
think.
Why are you interrupting me?
Tell them what you think
Shut the
about black
fuck
folks.
up.
Tell
Why are
them
you
what you think
interrupting
about
me?
black folks. Tell them what you
Shut
think
the
about
fuck
black folks.
up.
Tell
Why are
them
you
what you think
interrupting me,
about. Tell them
asshole?
what you think
Hey,
about black
asshole. Why are
folks.
you interrupting me?
Tell them what you think about black
Me.
folks. You
Let
saying
me
that
talk.
you saying that they're
Hey,
ugly,
I'm
that they
trying to talk to the.
stink, that they don't
No,
have
that's
real
what you're.
hair. Come on, tell them what
No,
you
that's
think
what you're
about
saying.
black folks.
Find a clip where I
Tell
said
them
that.
what I,
You
oh,
fucking idiot.
I got a whole stream when you said that with you, Rancho and Kim.
Why don't you play it? Why don't you play it?
Because I
No, no,
don't
seriously, why don't
because
you play it?
no because
I'm trying to talk to the
this
host
stream is about
respectfully, and
me. This stream
you're
about me, and
being,
you're trying to get shine. It's all good.
no, no, no. You should
Listen,
have never cammed up.
listen.
You
Okay, I
should have
should have
never
never
cammed
cammed
up
up. I still
because
got
you're
four
ugly
thousand
as fuck.
subscribers though. Yeah, you're
You're
right,
ugly as
and
fuck.
that's why
You
you're
look
still.
like a
That's why
hamster.
you're here. That's why you're here
All
I'm
right,
on
y'all.
here
one of
because
my
Let's
of
not.
you.
streams.
Okay, y'all. Let's get each other's points. Let's not do the name calling. Let's cut it. All right, that's enough of that. But
Yeah, there's
okay,
yeah, there's nothing
there's nothing
there's
wrong.
nothing wrong
I
with
was
being from
meaning
the
to
United States,
I was
and
meaning to warn
I
you
think
that
if
when you
you're
was
born in
gonna
the United States, you should
invite
be
me.
proud of your background,
I
and that's
agree.
all good. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. The important thing is
I
to
was
be
gonna warn
yourself
you. I was gonna
and
warn
to
you when you
not get
So
invite.
into the identity politics because a lot
maybe
of
okay. Yeah, but maybe I don't know because I did want to learn about like the history of Latin American culture and then like
mhm,
the because my personal experience I've always
mhm,
why I did this stream,
mhm,
biracial people, we hear about this like specifically mulattoes, black and white, American mulatto people. Why I did this stream is because a lot of us always felt like more accepted in the Hispanic culture more than anything, more than like a lot of us felt like we didn't fit in the white people, we didn't fit in the black people. But
mhm,
since Latin people, Latino people are so mixed, like us, like we felt
mhm.
like there was a connection there. But of course, culturally, we're different,
Well,
But I was,
who's also said that I've heard
hmm
because thanks to the like you said the power of the internet, you could talk to
hmm
anyone across the world, and I've spoken to Europeans, Asians, Africans,
hmm
people from Asia, and all of people who are not Hispanic who have grown up around Hispanics, they always said exactly what you're saying, that they always
they're
felt
very
welcome,
welcoming,
that
right?
they always
I like
felt
that.
like they were accepted as who they were. And you know what I
hmm
say? That's part of our culture to be. It's
I think
called
that's
having
good.
respect for others. Now,
Exactly.
if you didn't feel welcomed, or you didn't feel like you fit in a white American community or the Black American community, then it's a reflection on that community that they're not respectful to you. I don't think
Exactly. That's the issue we have. They don't respect us. They don't respect us whatsoever. And I
exactly.
felt,
So I think it's to address more of that issue. But I've heard Arabs say, "Oh my God, I'm like a Latino." I've heard
mhm,
Asians say, "Oh, I'm like a Latino. I had a Latino heart." I've heard Europeans. So I get this from everybody. I've heard this from
yeah.
everyone.
hmm
So
I think
it's
that's good.
so it just shows that there
I
are,
think there's
yeah.
parts of that culture that we should adopt in America, since it's such a large, there's a big, large Hispanic Latino population in America. We should adopt and integrate some of that aspect of the culture. That's what I think. Why not?
I think you should just be assertive and say, you know what, I'm a proud I'm mixed and I'm
Yeah.
American and I'm proud of it, and I don't
hmm
need to adhere to other different identities, like the Latino community, to feel like I'm worth someone. Just do
hmm
your best as an individual, and that should be
Yeah.
enough. I mean, you all are Americans, and that should unite you under one flag. I
It
don't know
doesn't. It
what's
doesn't.
up with this race obsession, and how there's people in the only in the United States can you profit off this? Can you make it a thing? Can you make entire channels about it?
Hey,
About
Mulata,
it?
can I
To
ask you
me,
something?
hold on, to me as a foreigner, it's something very strange.
hmm
Just the title to me is weird.
hmm
I tried to explain a couple of some of these things that you Americans talk about to my boyfriend, and he finds it very weird. He gives me like this stare, like what the. Do they
hmm
really believe that? And I say, yes, they actually talk about this. And he said that then they must be crazy. And I say, oh,
hmm
well, it is what it is.
Let
But
me,
Yeah, we have a
Mulata,
wholly different history. We have a
Mulata.
totally different
Let me tell you.
like experiences, like you said, and we have totally different conversations
Yeah,
that need to be
Mulata.
had.
yeah, and mulatto, you know what I
Let me
think would
say
be a good
something
idea?
because
Hold on, hold
the
on.
thing that I was trying to tell you is like, uh we not once in this conversation did we ever try to say that the mixed race community is trying to go into the mixed community and they should do it. Did we ever say that in this conversation?
We're
I've
just trying to establish,
Exactly.
we're
Just
just trying
establish
to look.
understanding and also open the doors for unity. That's it, right?
That's it. What's wrong
what
with
kind
that?
of
Okay.
I've
Wait,
unity?
always my
What kind
wait.
of
channel.
unity?
No, my
This is
channel. I've always promoted
exactly,
unity between
exactly.
all different groups.
Now,
All different groups.
Would you
So
make a stream?
when I said that in Latin America, mixture is something that it is what it is. We really don't talk about it. Did I say that? Yes or no?
yeah, it's not something that's really talked about. Yeah.
Okay, Maria, do you agree with that? Yes or no? Mixture is not something we talk about in Latin America that we could care less about.
How would I refer to you, the host? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that a yes or no?
What's your name? I'm sorry.
Is that a
Magic
yes?
Mulatto. You call me Mulatto.
Is
Call me
that a
that.
Okay,
yes?
That's
Is
fine.
that a yes or
Mulatto,
no?
Mulatto, do you plan to do a stream
Maria, no,
with a
wait,
similar title
Maria, is
with
that a yes or
unity
no?
with Asians and Europeans and with Africans?
Maria, is that a
No.
yes or no?
Why not? Why not Europeans, Africans, and Asians?
Well, I don't really have too much. I mean, I don't know. It's a good question. It's a
Why?
good question.
And another
I
question.
was no listen.
Huh?
This I just noticed there were similarities between these two. Of course, there's differences. I just wanted to explore the similarities and the differences
Okay.
between these two.
And Mulata,
Okay.
That's all.
But what
let me
type of
ask you
unity are you referring to?
exactly,
Magic?
exactly. What type of
What type of?
what type of unity?
Do you mean
Because you
financial?
know,
Do you mean
No,
business
because
wise?
okay, in these cases, I did this stream. I did this stream because
Mulata. Hold on, Mulata.
all right.
I'm just trying to warn you. This is an individual that is extremely racist and is clicked up with other races. All right. I'm just trying to warn you because what she's gonna do right now is send this whole stream to one of her little fuckboy buddies, and he's gonna make a 6-hour stream about this whole thing.
Who?
And that's her whole thing is unity because you guys want sex and you see Latinos as a fetish, which is 100% not true.
But I'm just asking Magic. Why don't you let her answer?
I thought I
Oh,
was a
I'll answer the
nobody.
question. I'll answer the
Go ahead.
question.
I know. Go
I
ahead.
did this
Go ahead.
stream because I started this channel trying to address and focus on mixed race, multiracial issues and topics in the community, right? And I noticed that a lot of Hispanic people are supporting me. They're supportive of my identity. Like Hazel Green, she hops on my panel. Jose hops on my panel all the time and is always trying to support me and my causes and stuff. So I wanted to have the conversation of, okay, you guys are very supportive of me. I noticed this and I appreciate it. And so how can we how can we support each other? and have mutual, how can we support each other? I don't want it to be a one-sided thing because I see you guys are supportive of me and I'm grateful for of it. And I don't see Asians supporting me. I don't see Africans supporting me.
Okay.
So that's why that's why I did this panel. That was the whole reason behind this panel is like I see this community supporting me. So I want to support them and have
Now,
that
now,
mutual,
Magic,
Do
magic.
you
Mulatta,
see Latinos as
do
a
you
as
know?
a fetish?
Do
Do you
you
see
really?
us as a fetish?
Hold on. Mulatto, do you actually think Hazel Green is Hispanic?
why wouldn't she be Hispanic? She's lying about her identity. So everybody's lying about their identity.
No, no,
Everybody's
because I
lying.
no, no, no.
Everybody that
You know why
disagrees
I
with
She's
say
her
a
that?
lies with
No, no,
their
no,
identity. That's what it
no,
is.
no.
Because
There's
Maria is
people.
a racist.
No,
This is
not
something
really.
that we
You know
have to
why,
understand.
Mulatto? You know why I say that? Because when I actually, I saw what Hazel Green looked like, and I kind of heard her talking, and I'm like, I don't think she's Hispanic.
So it's based off of what she looked like. You're going off of what she
Yeah,
looked like.
it would look like and what she was talking about.
So you go by this whole caste system, like it's only like white Hispanics that are Hispanic, or it's only based off of looks to you. That it's like
No, well, it is about a phenotype, not necessarily a white phenotype. No, no, no.
it's not about culture. What about culture? I thought it was about
Exactly.
culture.
There you go.
So if
Bingo.
she has that culture, like that's
Exactly.
the culture that she's from, and she
Think about it
said
like this. Think about it like this. My whole family is Hispanic from Latin American countries. They're dispersed around the world. All my friends, Brazilians, Argentinians, some people from uh, Paraguay, Cubans, Mexicans, a lot of Mexicans, Puerto Ricans. All of my friendships are Hispanic people.
We're not.
They don't even know English. Some do,
We're
some
not a
do know
monolith. We're
English,
not a
but
monolith, Maria.
none of them
Maria,
talk
we're not
like
a
Hazel,
monolith. Maria, we're
and
not a
none
monolith.
of them look like Hazel either.
Maria, we're not a monolith
And who
because
said
you're not
we were
Puerto
a
Rican.
monolith?
so. You don't claim her, basically. That's what you're
I don't.
saying.
You're,
I
but
think
you're not
she's
even Puerto
something else.
Rican,
I
Maria.
think
You're
she's
not even
claiming to
Puerto
be Latin
Rican,
American.
Maria. You're
I
not even
think
Puerto
she's claiming to
Rican.
be
What are you
Latina,
talking
but I don't
about?
think she really is.
Excuse me if I just can in for a second.
Hmm.
Okay.
What about Jose? Jose. He's Hispanic, and he comes and supports me all the time. So
Oh, that's yeah. I think Jose. I mean, yeah. He's
Oh,
he looks
you need the Maria pass.
look.
That's what it
No, no,
is.
no, no. It's just
Okay.
well, actually, you know what it is, Mulatto. A lot of people that are immigrants in the United States, and then they have children, and they have first generation, second generation. By the second generation, they usually when they talk to people from their parents' home country, it's like they don't recognize them. It's like you seem like it's weird. It's like
they're
you have
Americanized.
family from that. Exactly. There you
They're
go.
Americanized.
So I've talked to Chinese people who they've talked to me about Chinese Americans, and the ones who are second, third generation, they kind of can't relate to them. They're like, it's weird. It's like you look like me, but you're totally different in everything that we value and everything we say, right? But I don't want to talk about for the Chinese community. I just talk for the Latin American community. When I saw Hazel and when I heard her speak, I'm like, I don't really think she's Latina. Just is my opinion, right? Because everyone I
So
Well,
Latino to you is
socialize
only people who are like first, like only like straight from like Latin countries. They can't be
with,
two, three, four generations
it's
removed
just
from it.
you know what it is, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. She just didn't look like it.
She look like
Okay, but don't
me.
you
She
think
look
that
like
like
me. We
Hispanics
got
are
the
like
same
very
hair
If
diverse?
type,
I
same.
No,
But
wait,
no,
that's
wait,
what
no,
wait,
we
wait, wait,
relate.
Maria,
We relate.
don't
A
you
lot
think
of
that no,
Hispanic
no,
people of that
wait,
let me
culture, we
ask
share
something.
phenotype.
wait,
So
you know
I've
what I
been
thought?
quiet
You know
for
wait,
a
what?
wait,
while
wait,
now.
wait,
I
wait,
think
wait.
I
what
Maria,
is she to you?
Maria, what
I've
makes
been
you
quiet for a while. I
what makes
think I
you
should speak now.
Latina? Maria, what makes you Latina? Maria, what makes you Latina?
I was born and raised in a Latin American country. Both of my parents are from Latin America. We currently live in a Latin American country. Everyone I socialize with is from Latin America. I mean,
You you don't even have a Latina accent when you speak English.
this is the part of the Americanisms
No, no,
and
no.
that we're
You're
talking
no,
about.
no,
Radical
no.
thinks I need to have an accent,
You don't
a
even have an
Latina accent.
accent though.
And this is what I mean by
And how come
This
you
is why
support
we.
somebody that doesn't speak Spanish, right? Because apparently he's like the all given person who speaks Spanish, and it tells you who's
Look, the whole
Spanish or not,
point of
right?
this stream. No,
Hold on.
listen,
Who
listen,
doesn't
listen.
speak Spanish?
Kim
Okay,
doesn't
y'all.
speak
Listen,
Spanish.
the whole point of this stream, if he's Americanized, he still has that. He's still mixed. He still has those genetics. He still has that experience. He still,
And now
he has.
Maria's the
And
gatekeeper
it's
of who's
fine. Like,
Latina.
to me,
What the fuck?
there's a large Hispanic population. They may have been here 2, 3, 4 generations, but they still have a different experience, a different perspective. So to me, it's like still valid to me, and it's still valuable perspective that's different from
Yeah, they
mine to
have a
me.
United
So
So,
States upbringing
I just
experience.
Yo,
you said you had a
all
problem
right.
with the
So I
title.
would like to
So,
ask is so like for Hazel. So what does she look like to you, Maria? Though because she's just some Puerto Rican girl living in Florida,
there's a
and
lot of Puerto
Florida actually
Ricans
does
that
have a large Puerto Rican population as well as
yep, and
Cuban.
me, I'm just a
So
black guy. That's
exactly what constitutes as looking Latino
Lo
though?
que
Because
ella
okay,
va,
you need
lo
to
que
from what
talk
ella
to
va,
some
I
lo
people.
que
I'm
ella
gonna
va a
let Hazel speak for
decir,
herself.
lo que
To
ella,
me,
wait,
to
wait,
me,
lo
Jose,
que ella va a
I'm
decir,
gonna
lo
remove you
me.
for a minute. I'm gonna let Hazel speak for herself. Okay.
All right, okay.
Okay. All right. Here's Hazel. Hey, Hazel.
Yo,
Hi, how
How you
are
doing,
you?
Hazel?
this
Are
is
you a
Hello,
Latino
all
crazy.
my
woman?
hello, all
This
my
is
Hispanic
crazy.
Hello.
brothers and sisters, except for Maria. I don't know who Maria is. She sounds like a white woman. If you've seen what I look like and you hear how I talk, you should know that I am a Latina from New York City. Boo.
Hazel, mira, te lo voy a decir ahora mismo. Esta es una
Uh-huh.
maldita gringa. Esta es una maldita
Uh-huh.
gringa,
He's
una
a gringa.
blanca, diciéndolo a nosotros que nosotros no somos latinos. Que se...
She's one of Chem 123's putas. I know.
Exactly, that's what it is.
She doesn't know. She's very ignorant. She's very ignorant because there's no one way of looking Hispanic or Latino. You and I all know this. We all know this. Okay. What she did was what Chem 123 did is that they don't like that I support your space. They don't like you. They don't
Yeah.
support you. I am not. I am not trying to be one of you. I'm not trying to be
She's
one of you.
supportive, and I appreciate you
I'm
supporting.
just
Like,
and their
supportive.
whole
I'm
thing-
not
and their
trying to
whole
be
thing
one of you. I'm
is
not
white.
trying to claim anything at all. There are, like what Radical Latino said, there's 2 or more mixed race Latinos. So we have the mulatto crew.
Hazel, check this out. Is it
Yeah.
true that the only Latinos in their eyes are white?
In her eyes, yeah, but
But
she
what
doesn't
is it
even
Exactly.
sound
about
like
this
she
space?
doesn't sound Hispanic. She sounds like a white person.
Exactly.
So
You
what is
sound
it about this
Caucasian.
space?
You sound like you from California, honey. So before you start talking about people, you know me. I don't know you. This is the first time I'm ever hearing about this Maria person. You see me all up in the comments here and there. You've seen what I look like, but you couldn't come and contact me, say something under one of my many comments on many platforms that are both on this side and the Latino side and ask me what I am. You know very well there is no one way of looking Latino. There's no one way of looking Hispanic. And from Costa Rica, baby, there's a lot of people that look Black American from over there. And they're born there. My father is not American. Okay? My father is
American. Maria's
my
American.
father is not
here.
born here. My father was born in Cuba. My mother is first generation. First of all, she's Puerto Rican. My grandparents were from Puerto Rico. They migrated here. And you should know better.
So you're
to say the
part
things that you say.
Cuban? Wait, hold on. You're part Cuban?
You heard what I said. You hear how I speak. You know what I look like. You heard what I said. You don't have to re-ask a question that you know.
Wait, so
Okay?
you're half Cuban. Would you say you're half Cuban?
Why would she even answer that? You know everything about her.
You know everything about me. I don't know you. But I don't know you. I don't know you.
What I mean. I get accused of a bunch of things. I get accused.
No, you don't get you don't get accused of nothing. You know exactly what you're doing is wrong. You're not getting accused of anything. You know what you're doing.
You said that
you know what you're doing. You ran your mouth about me. You've seen me. You know what I look like. I don't look Puerto Rico, whatever. You said what Chem 123 said. You're probably one of his people over there.
Well,
I don't know you, but you know me. I don't know what you look like, but you know what I look like. And you know what, honey? I don't care what you think I look like. I don't care if you believe that I'm one of you or not. I don't need you to claim me. I know who I am. I'm confident in who I am. I know what my background is. I know what my culture is. And I was raised in the same culture you were. And you know something? You don't even sound like you're from Latin America. You sound like an American citizen that was born in California or
That's
born up in
true.
New York and speak
Facts.
proper English. You speak
Facts.
proper English.
Facts.
You don't have a strong Latin his. You don't have you do not have
You
a
don't have an
strong
accent. You don't have
Hispanic
an
accent.
accent. You don't have an
I do.
accent. She does.
I have a strong
You don't.
accent from New
Yeah,
York City.
Thank you for complimenting my
I don't.
accent.
I don't even
Now,
have
Oh,
a
wait,
strong
wait, wait. Hey,
You
accent
don't
either.
have one.
hold on. What? Okay. What is the issue? You said she came here to troll the space, but you said the same thing that Hazel is saying, that we should just be proud of who we are, and period. That's
Yeah,
exactly what Hazel is saying.
I'm
So
proud of who I
why?
am. I
That's
don't.
what
I
I
don't.
Hazel
I don't.
tells
think
us to say. That's why.
Yo,
That's how.
Wait, you know, wait,
So
Hazel,
I
you're
don't
saying
know you. I don't know you, and
Hazel,
I don't claim you.
Maria.
I
wait,
don't know
hold on,
you, and I
Hazel,
don't claim you.
Hazel,
You are
Hazel.
not part of
Maria.
me,
Said,
and you don't
you said,
represent the whole of
you
Latin
said
community.
you're
You
proud
are
of
the
being.
reason why there is no black and brown community unity. You are one of the reasons why that the Black American citizens and other people do not trust us, because you're one of those Nunezes from up in California who say racist, hateful things. Where we want to be united with other people, other cultures, people that look like us and don't look like us, and you are in the way. Go
Hazel,
back, go back to wherever it is that you want to be
Why
at and
don't you want
stay.
unity? Why is that an issue? Why is
Yeah,
that a
and
problem?
You
Because she's
yeah,
a
I
don't
just
want
want to
racist.
know,
unity
like,
for
what
no,
real.
no, no.
exactly
I'm not
Because she's
saying.
a
constitutes as a
racist.
I'm
Latino
Because
not
she's a
saying.
Maria,
racist.
or
No,
what
Because
no,
she's
does
a
a
no.
Latino
racist.
Hold
look
on.
like, though?
Because she's a
Exactly.
racist.
It's
She's
Yeah,
a
I
funny
know,
racist.
that
right? I mean,
I've been
look at
accused of
me.
being Okay,
A
you
lot of
say.
people who say that I
Uh
don't
huh.
look the
Hey,
Latino, and
Maria
I don't
can't.
care.
Wait, wait, hold up. Maria came up. How about that? How about came up? Maybe you don't. Maybe you do look Latino. We don't know. Came
Hold
up.
on. Let me go one thing at a
I know I
time.
sure don't.
They said I sound like a white woman,
You do
right?
to me, Dawn, by the way. I
Hold
love
on,
you.
Yeah,
hold on,
well,
hold on.
tell that to my
Hey,
detractors,
you're
but I
saying you
don't
guys.
care anyway.
Okay, who's saying that I sound like a white woman? That I'm
Everyone,
white.
Well,
everyone, everyone,
okay,
everyone,
All
Maria,
right.
I don't
everyone,
particularly
everyone.
care about what you sound like. I'm just wanting to know, like, what exactly constitutes as a Latino to you in the looks department? And would you
Mm.
say that Roberto
Yeah,
Clemente was not Puerto Rican, a Puerto Rican Latino,
Wait, wait,
even
wait.
though
Hold on, hold
people
yeah,
on.
I
looked at
know. I
So,
him
don't
as
look.
just a
so
black
Yeah,
if
you're
you
right.
baseball
I
guys
player?
don't
I
think
would
look
like
a
to
white
just
woman,
answer
Latino.
that question. Don't
Right?
detract,
I
just
think I need
answer it.
to
I'm
eat
being
some
nice
more
here. I'm trying
Pop-Tarts,
to
right?
hold
understand
on.
you
Yeah,
about
One
got
person
you.
why
at a time.
don't you
One
think that
person
she
at a
looks
time.
like it.
Okay, I understand. The question is, oh, well, is this really an accusation? Maria, are you saying that we're a monolith? Maria, are you saying that only Hispanics look like white people? You would have to be retarded to think that.
Well, I'm not trying
If
to put
you
words in
go,
your mouth. I'm
if
just trying to
hold on, hold
figure
on.
out why
I'm
doesn't
not
she
a.
look
Well,
Puerto
you
Rican?
haven't. Hold on. Well, you guys say that the United States has a different history, right? In Latin America, people are very mixed. When you're really mixed, it kind of helps the if you study biology, the more diverse the genetics of the person, the stronger and healthier the human being is. Correct? Would that be fair to say?
The genes, yes.
Based on
Yes.
genetics. When I
Yes.
met Hazel, she looked deformed. That's why I thought this.
What? What?
Not.
Okay.
She
Okay,
does not
Maria.
look
Okay,
deformed.
Maria. That's
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 a
just going
lie.
too far. Okay, that's just going
Yeah.
way too far.
All
All
right, she
right.
got kicked off. Anyways, that was. I'm
All
sorry
right.
about that, Hazel. I
All
didn't
right,
know who she
Hazel.
was. I
Hazel,
don't
you
know
are
there was.
beautiful. We love
Yeah.
you. We support you. I
She
miss
don't look
talking to you. I
deformed.
wish you were active again, but
Mulata,
I
mulata,
understand you have a lot of stuff
Yes.
going on.
mulata. I had to warn you
It's
when you.
okay.
I had to warn you
Listen,
when you
it's
put me on the
Thank
okay.
you.
title. When you put
It's
me on the
okay.
title, then you're gonna get trolls. So
It's
don't
okay.
Listen,
worry.
You know, I
listen,
got my own
listen. I
trolls.
want
I'm
to
gonna
tell you
bring
And
something.
Jose back
Radical
up.
I want to
Latino,
tell you
sorry
something. I
for
want to tell you
delaying on
something.
that.
I want to tell
I'm
you
gonna bring
something.
Jose back up.
Listen, no, it doesn't matter what people say about me. I look like something that I'm not. I look, I don't look beautiful. I look ugly. Whatever it is that they want to say, you know, something that doesn't matter to me. I think, I know, not even I think, I know
Hmm.
I'm what people like to say. I think I am a dime piece. No, it's not that I think, it's that I know.
Period.
I have a family that loves me. I have a
Exactly.
husband. I have a husband. I have children. This is not a problem for me. You don't think that
Hmm.
I'm good looking. I don't care. You know, I don't care who, I don't know who these people on here, I guess they're trolls or whatever. They don't think I'm beautiful, whatever. But that doesn't matter. None of that matters. What I came on here to do is speak for myself because I don't know who these people are. I don't know who these people are in your comment section. I don't know who Maria is, but they sure have a lot to say about me. Kem123 had a lot to say about me, and then he blocked me from his live. So I couldn't go up there and
So,
confront
but
him.
they're so hateful because you guys are supporting this space. So is
Um,
that
Yes,
the issue?
yeah,
Why
yes.
is that the
Yeah,
problem?
and then
Like,
like
why
also
don't they
like
want? Why can't we
excuse
have our
me,
own
but
space?
This is something that I try to I'm trying to warn certain people.
Let me know.
There
I
are
don't know what's going
there
on in these
are
other YouTube streets. Hold
they
up.
are mind you, this is only online. I'm gonna just keep
It's
it a
only
thousand
online.
with I'm gonna
Okay.
keep it 1,000 with you. This is only
Mm-hmm.
online. No
Mm-hmm.
Latino that's from these little fuck groups are going to
Mm-hmm.
even say anything to nobody in their face. All right. So this is just
Mm-hmm.
online.
It's
And
just
the
people online.
major reason that they have an issue with anything about unity, regardless of whoever it is
Mm-hmm.
because they think that the Latin person is gonna get blackified or Americanized, and our
Oh,
culture are gonna be
they're gonna.
stolen,
They want to
like,
preserve. Oh, yeah. They want to like preserve their
which is
identity and
which
their
is
image and
which is a
culture.
hundred
And
which is 100% stupid, because if that was the case, Maria wouldn't be living in New York.
hmm, right. Hmm.
all right, so
That's the
why did
thing.
Maria
People.
just say like in the chat
I hear
about
that
how
on the
okay,
other
Latinos
side
come from
too, and
different
like
shades? She's contradicting herself.
What
Hazel
happened?
looks like she's from the U.S. There's a lot of child and
uh,
man.
excuse me,
Anyways,
if I can just chime in, please.
yeah. Go ahead, Jose.
Okay. First of all, and I'm gonna actually please bear with me because I have
Hey, let me apologize about my baby mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm
okay,
sorry. She didn't
okay,
get the child support this week. You know, that's why she acting up.
Oh
okay.
Lord.
First of all, the reason why I support people like yourself, Magic, I support Jojo, I support Hazel, because first of all, you're great people. Number one, okay.
Thank you.
Number two, you have you know okay, you have a great platform, okay, and
Thank you.
I enjoy when I have the opportunity to interact with all of you, with Jojo, Hazel, with Fatical. Now I find it but bizarre that someone is making a determination as far as who is Latino and who is not Latino. With all due respect to the brain damaged people who don't have two working brain cells to
Who
rub
is
together.
Blue Banana? Who is Blue
Okay,
Banana? This is also another person behind an avatar or whatever
I
she had.
blocked
Blue
them.
Banana, Maria, all of these people, all of these weird people that
I
are
blocked
on here
them.
now. You don't make
Reblock
any
them.
sense. How do you have a lot to say about me, but you don't?
Um, I want to apologize, Mulatta. I told you, if you're gonna have me in the title, you're gonna
It's
get a lot of
okay.
trolls. My
It's
bad.
fine.
um,
It's
if I
And
fine.
Radical, we're
Thanks,
sorry
trolls.
for not
Trolls, y'all
reacting
supporting the
like sooner,
stream. You
though.
know,
I
it's
had
all
no
good.
idea.
if
Wait,
I
wait,
can,
But until
wait,
she
wait,
came
wait,
out
wait.
with her true colors by saying that our good girl here, Hazel, looks quote unquote deformed, I'm like, okay,
That's
you
horrible. Yeah, she
just
got banned.
destroyed your credibility
No, no.
right there.
Yeah.
So fuck
Yeah.
you.
This is the thing
Period.
that I was trying to tell you guys. Person is not somebody that you should trust or even listen to, because she's gonna double speak, and is
She
real
just came
quickly.
out of nowhere. She just comes out of nowhere. Like what
And
is what?
But
and the
it's
thing
something
What?
that where's
and
Dawn at?
and
It's
the thing
something me and Dawn has talked about, like how people try to deny your identity just based on how you look. Like how
no, no,
he was talking
exactly.
about
Yeah.
how Dominicans, yeah.
And the
So
thing
it's
is
something that we talked about that we
and the
relate
thing
to because
is
it happens to us.
nobody it should be a gatekeeper who's Latino. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's a gatekeeper of that. Like, oh, my definition of who Latino is this and this and this and this and this. Listen, this is an individual who was born in the United States, who
I
listens
know.
to another individual who is Kim one two
Who was
three,
also from the United States,
who
who
was
doesn't
born
speak
in the
Spanish
United
at all.
States and doesn't speak. If we want to gatekeep, okay, Kim 123 is the most American motherfucker out here then, because he doesn't speak Spanish, nor was he born in Latin America.
okay.
No, 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 Maria. It's not that you. It's not that you didn't think that I'm Latina. You said I wasn't, and then you went after my looks. And another, and well, I'm gonna say this again. My looks are irrelevant. It is my ancestry. It is my culture. I have a non-English speaking father, and I have a bilingual mother who is Puerto Rican. It doesn't matter what I look like. It really doesn't.
I'm telling
It's
you,
who I am.
and let me say something real quick to Maria, because I know she's listening. Be very careful who your friends are, because that same person that you're telling your little things to, Kim, is telling everybody else, and he's getting back to me. There's somebody that is real cool with me in y'all little circle that is giving me information. And I'm telling you, I know a lot of things about you, Maria, that Kim is talking about. That's all I gotta say.
All
And
right, well, let's move on from Maria. All right,
okay,
y'all. Okay, so
okay,
I see the struggle. Like, I don't know. She's saying you guys are not, Latino because you guys are not first generational and you guys don't know the culture. You guys don't
Yeah.
know. But let's
okay.
okay.
Culture is taught. Culture is taught. It is
Culture.
taught.
I knew I fucked up with the title. I ain't gonna lie because
Now,
I didn't
looking
want
at
it
the
to cause more
culture,
division. I just wanted to. I always fuck up, but I just wanted to
Remember,
have some
culture is
understanding
taught.
between
Culture
these
is
two
taught.
groups
It goes
in
with
order
you
to
everywhere.
in
magic.
order to have you got to have understanding first, and then we can have peace. Like, all we want is peace between these two. We already have that. I think we're very, between our two groups, I think we're very peaceful, and then we
No,
can have unity. Like, there's
there's
still,
peace. There's
yeah,
peace.
and then we can
There
have
is
Just
peace.
listen. There's
Just
somebody
like
that's
when
just
Radical has his time when he goes on his platform and he talks to the Black American community, there is some type of unity going on, but you have those like Maria and some of the guys that go on his platform who do not want the unity. The majority of us want to live amongst everyone else and learn everyone else's culture and eat your food and dance to your music and have a good time, okay?
right.
Life
There's always
doesn't have to be
extremists in every
complicated.
group. There's always extremists in every group. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it
Excuse
is,
me.
y'all.
If I can just finish my point.
Oh, go ahead, Hazel. Sorry.
Okay. Now, first of all, Hazel is 100% Latina. Okay.
Thank
Just because she does not speak Spanish well does not take away the fact that she is Latina. Okay. She is Latina. And I find it bizarre that some individual who does not know about her, was not there when her mom gave birth to her, can make judgments regarding who is not Latina, who's, but just because they look a certain way. I got news for everybody. Latino culture is a combination of Spanish, indigenous, and Africa. Okay, so there is no such thing as a pure Latino look. Okay, and I just wish some of these morons can get two brain cells run together and try to figure it out.
I guess Celia Cruz is not one of us either because La Negra tiene tumbao, you know?
Hazel.
That was a good song back in the day.
It was Hazel and Jose. It seems like me and us three have to walk around with papers, claiming,
Yeah, man.
proving that we're
Don't
Latino.
Radical. There is one person that referred to me as an old senile white guy.
Really?
Multiple people talking.
Hey, we ain't gonna bring him up.
We're not
Okay,
gonna.
we don't want to give him no more content. Okay, we don't want to give him no more content. Okay, that's all he's gonna do is just nah. Anyways, who's not bringing him up?
And culture is not. Culture is something that is taught to you. It's passed down. So whether if you are Cuban and you migrate to London, if you migrate to California, if you migrate to the Philippines, your culture goes with you if your family passes it down to you. So I might not look Cuban and Puerto Rican, but if you taste my food, you would know.
Yeah, I agree. You know, like me, I'm gonna close out the stream, guy. Oh, go ahead, Jose. What do you have to say?
Oh no, it was actually me.
Oh, we gotta close Latino.
And-
What do you have to say?
And the thing is that something we also have to understand. There was a lot of Puerto Rican parents coming to especially New York who wanted to assimilate, and this actually happened to Mexican people too. They wanted to assimilate to the new world. They want to assimilate to America, and they refused to teach their kids Spanish.
That was my
that's a
situation.
cultural erasure.
My
Yeah.
situation. My situation right here.
Exactly.
My
So
situation.
the reason why it was done, it was order to protect the offspring, because they wanted the offspring to assimilate. They wanted that the offspring not to get made fun of, because let's be completely honest, when you're an immigrant in this country, you're gonna get made fun of from everybody, right?
Yep.
So, and you don't know what's going on, you don't understand the jokes, so you're thinking that, oh, they're just being mean to me or whatever the case is, right? But the thing is they didn't want their kids to go through that. So yes, you're going to have certain individuals who are Latino, who look Latino but doesn't speak Spanish. Does that take their Latino-ness away? Does that take their experience away? No, not at all.
Right.
But we have to be honest, which is something that she said, which is 100% true, which I wasn't denying. I don't think nobody was denying it. The fact that when you go back to Latin America, they are going to see you as an Americanized Latino.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that is true. No one's denying that, Maria. It's not like you just broke.
We are look like American.
It's
We are
not. It's not like.
Americanized.
It's not like it's a huge secret that we're trying to hide that fact. No, that's 100% true. But at the end of the day, that does not mean that we're not family. We don't got the same blood. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That's what it boils down to. It's like we're supposed to be family allies. Like you guys share genetics, you guys share like a bloodline, you guys share like
Right.
a heritage together. So why would they guys try
Yeah.
to like we said this
And the
earlier? Like
culture.
people will find anything to divide over anything.
Yeah,
It's
but
like you're Americanized versus I'm not. Like
exactly.
that's something people choose to divide over. You know,
And
that's on them.
the thing is, because I started my platform, having unity. This is the reason why Maria doesn't like black folks in the mix. That's what Maria doesn't like. You know what I'm saying? She's one of these
Yeah.
little strolls. It is what it is.
I'll tell you how it started. I'll tell you how it started for me. I when I first got into this space here, well, I think it was way back in May, if I'm not mistaken, and I think it was Angry Biracial's live where he was like, he gets confused for being a Dominican or Puerto Rican or something like that. So I went on there and I'm like, hey, you actually do look like one of us. And I showed my face and I said, hey, we can be siblings. We really could be siblings. And I am the type of person that I show you how I am. I am what I am. It's a privilege for you to see what I look like, right? I put myself, I don't do my hair, I didn't put makeup on, I don't do any of those things, right? I have skin allergies, so I don't do those things. And my hair is my hair. I have very curly hair, I love it, right? And I say, hey, you look like me. We have similar nose, look at the skin tone. All of our phenotypes look very similar, even though he is half half Arab, half black, and I am Puerto Rican and Cuban, born in America, right? We look similar. You and I, Magic Mulatta, Georgia, we shared ancestry before, and it was very similar.
That's why
Portuguese and Spanish.
and that's why we connect so much because we do share our phenotype, do share some similar genetics, So it may not be exactly alike, but there is some similarities there that we relate on. Like we relate to each other in certain ways. So I do think so.
Jose looks like a disappointed substitute teacher.
Oh my
No,
god.
he's a Puerto Rican Mr. Rogers. Puerto Rican Mr. Rogers.
That's funny.
Won't you be my neighbor?
Oh, she's mestiza. Okay.
Maria's not mestiza. She
It
never
says
cammed
she's
up.
mestiza.
That's bullshit. She
Oh,
never
okay.
cammed up. She never cammed up, please.
It said Marie don't want gringos, white or black Americanized people part of. We're not being part of your race. That's the thing. We want our own identity. That's the thing. So what's the issue? Like I'm not saying we should just come. I'm gonna start claiming Latin. I'm not gonna start claiming. I'm not Latin. I'm not Hispanic.
No,
like obviously,
see,
I'm
yeah.
not. I would never claim that. I respect your guys' identity. I would never try to be something I'm not. At the end of the day,
it's just getting to know each other. It's just getting to know
each other.
and-
Yeah, I
and
would
having
never
some
claim
type
to
of
be
connection. There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with
Exactly.
And also sharing the same experiences here in America. Nobody's talking
Exactly.
about Latin America. Nobody's talking about none of that. You see how dumb these people are? Nobody's
Yeah.
talking about claiming whatever or whatever.
I
the
would
case
never
is.
know.
Like,
I've been
come on.
mistaken for being Dominican. I've been mistaken for being Latin. I've been mistaken, but I've never sat here and lied up and lied about it and be like, yeah, I am. I've never claimed to be nothing. I'm not. I've always respected people's cultural boundaries. I
America
respect
is not a
boundaries.
race.
So, yeah, America is just
America is not a race.
American. Yeah,
Latin
I know
is
what
not
I
a race.
am.
Puerto
I
Rico
know-
is not a race. America is not a race. Those are not
It's a
races.
nationality and it's a culture that I wasn't
Right.
raised up on,
Yeah.
and that's not me. So I respect your.
Mulatta, I expect like at least one response video out of this whole thing. I'm telling you, those people. Oh my god.
Excuse me. The reason why I came up is just for people to see that there's no such thing as a Latino look. And me, I'm sorry, I look
Please
great.
stop.
I look great for someone who's 60 years old.
You look like an upset principal.
Yes.
Oh,
I
somebody,
mean,
somebody's giving you a compliment.
hmm,
Foster says, "Magic looking fire in that pic." Oh shit!
Yeah, she does. She does
Thank
look.
you. I appreciate it.
She does look beautiful, and
And
she
she also looks very Latina in that. I'm just playing. I'm playing.
okay,
I'm playing.
he's always starting something. You always have one goofy cousin in the family, and Radical is that guy.
Yep.
He's starting something. Starting
Thank
something.
you. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate you guys. You guys are cool. I really do consider us like cousins. We're like cousins, okay? To me, you guys are like cousins to me, and I really love you guys. And I'm gonna close out this stream. I think it was a great stream. We had a little bit of, you know, people coming in that had different opinions, and that's fine.
It's
I'm
happening.
open to different opinions, and I like seeing different perspectives. That's okay. That's fine. And I'm sorry that I don't want people to be low and name call people and say that. I'm sorry that happened. I'm not gonna allow that on my
That's
stream
okay.
anymore.
Don't worry about it.
Mhm.
Those things don't bother me. But I understand what you're saying.
Mhm.
That wasn't appropriate for you. You didn't bring that on. You didn't bring. You didn't have this flat. You didn't have this live for that type of stuff.
Mhm. It was. I
No,
think
but
it
it's
was really
okay.
good. I love. I want to. I just. What my biggest takeaway from this was what Radical Latino said, making sure that we're teaching our children to like love themselves and, not sit here and
Absolutely.
install that colorism and that racial hierarchy into our children because we're gonna
Exactly.
become more mixed in America. The more mixed we are, and us. I really appreciate the people in the Hispanic community who support us claiming our mixture and claiming and
Yes,
being
we
proud of who
do.
we are as being mixed
We
and
do.
being proud to be mulatto and being proud to be black and being proud to I really appreciate that support and I'm gonna continue to support you guys and thank you so much, Radical
You're
Latino. It was a
welcome.
great stream. I thought it was really good. And yeah, you guys have any closing thoughts or anything?
Well, I say welcome to the club. Finally, finally,
Exactly.
you're on board with us now. Have a good
Mm-hmm.
night, everyone.
Have
Thank
a
you
All
for
right.
wonderful
having me
night.
on.
Have a good
All
night,
right,
Hazel.
thank you.
Well,
Do you guys have any? Yeah, Jose.
well, first of all, it's always a pleasure to be here and to interact with such great people. And I just want to let people know I'm going to be live tomorrow night on my channel. I'm going to be
Yeah,
talking
everybody
about,
subscribe to Jose.
and I'm
Uncommon
going
Sense
to,
with Jose and
yeah,
subscribe to Radical Latino.
and I'm going
And
to be talking about the high cost of medicine.
okay,
So,
sounds like a good topic. But
yeah,
it was a good stream. Y'all
yes,
continue to be
Yeah,
good
yeah,
with my
yeah.
kids screaming. I gotta go,
I'm the
y'all.
only thing
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. The only thing I'm gonna say is outside of the whole back and forth, just try to understand each other. Again, don't take things for face value. There's we're not a monolith. Latinos come in every shape, sizes, whatever the case is. But here in America, we do have a shared experience, and I think that's something that is a beautiful thing that we could definitely unite with and understand from each other. You know what I'm saying? And so right now Mulatta is an honorary Latina, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
thank you.
So she's honorary, so
yes, yes,
I'm the
she's one of us now.
I'm the gatekeeper.
Thank you.
I'm the
You guys claim me.
gatekeeper.
Okay.
I'm the gatekeeper. She's one of us now. She's gonna learn Spanish next week. All right, bye.
Thank you. And I definitely want to say that about mixed. Oh, sorry, my kids are crazy. But let me see if I get her to calm down.
Okay.
But I want to say that about mixed people in America, like we come in all shapes, all sizes, all colors as well too. And I want people to know that it's not just light skinned people who are mixed. There's so many different type of variations and phenotypes of mixed people here in America as well. And yeah, I just wanted to let people know that as well. And y'all have a good night. I got my kids; they want my attention. I love all my family. Thank you for coming out. Y'all
All
have a
right.
good night. Okay,
Peace.
peace
Peace.
and
Yes.
love. Bye guys.
Good night.
Good night.